Raleigh.
Gave it to him raw, so it's hard to believe. See you later to them, bro. That cut me off during my DM. I'm locked in the zone, ain't like I do it for no reason. I know they sick of it, give them the remedy. Don't get it twisted, I'm right, it's just fine, now you finna see. Shorty's up in the more things than open in the bottle up in the sea. So I don't understand why they don't understand. Damn, here we go again. Don't need a step, it's a Tesla. To a head, so the shit out of line. Fuck it, I might need an edge. Ooh, she making a mess. Calling me daddy, I can't even text her. Treating dudes in the phone like peasants. Can't rule it out, and that's what magic. Involved with you frauds on the scene.
Raleigh, North Carolina, how you doing this evening? You have now entered the RDU Live radio show. I'm your host, Cameron McCarty, right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY. If you're riding down the road right now and you're listening to us on your FM dial, go ahead and turn us up. If you're sitting on your couch, if you're watching us wherever you might be on YouTube, Facebook, I appreciate you for tuning in and locking in. We got a good show for you today. And remember, this is a call-in show. So when we're not playing music, that phone line is open, and that number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. We actually have a guest that's going to be in studio with us today. We just previewed their track right there. Just giving you a little hint. We'll run that back a little bit later on in the show. Today, we're going to have Mr. Joel Venom. He's going to be in the studio. He's on his way in now. But before we get into him and waiting on him to come into the studio, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit, just to say thank you all for tuning in. If I had a couple people looking and asking if we were going to be on the air this week, we are definitely here. Last week we had a couple circumstances that hindered us from being live on the air. We were supposed to be interviewing Shame Gang, a local artist right here in the area. But that couldn't happen for a couple different reasons. So but we're here this week. We got another artist lined up, Joel Venom. He's a local artist, local producer, musician, engineer. He's going to be on with us. So thank you for everybody that reached out. That's how that goes. And it was Thanksgiving week. I actually have been traveling. If you can kind of hear, I'm a little bit under the weather from traveling. And but we're here, and it's okay. It's okay. We're going to make things happen, and we're going to keep going on with the show. Look, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving week and enjoyed family, enjoyed friends. This weather right now is killer. I actually went down to Mobile, Alabama. That's where a lot of my family is from, Alabama, or is living. And the weather, it was a little cool, a little breezy, and I kind of got me under the weather, and then come back up here, and we're talking about lows of 20, lows of 30. It's coming fast. This weather, it goes from extreme heat to extreme cold real fast, and just stay. The whole point I'm making there is stay bundled up, stay safe out here as we celebrate these holiday seasons. We got another one. Our Christmas season coming up here in the next couple weeks. I know people have been doing the shopping for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that good stuff. So just stay bundled up, stay safe, and make sure you're enjoying family. If you've been listening to the show, and even if you haven't, we always like to start the show off with something relevant, a topic that is relevant to the time that we're living in, to either the Triangle or just the world at large. And one running thing that we started, that we started out a couple weeks ago was strikes and protests. As most people know, the writers out in California, they were on strike for a little bit. There's been some protests that have been going on. A couple months ago, back in September, in Durham, the sanitation workers, they went on strike. They were looking for some better wages. And now the Amazon workers are on strike. Amazon workers. And they're primarily striking out in California, but there's actually some protests going on in Gardner. So the SWA, the Southern Workers Association, they're a union of a sort, and the Amazon workers out there are a part of that association. It's called the RDU plant out in Gardner. Has some of the leaders from the Amazon strike out or Amazon protest out in California. Some of those leaders came over to the Gardner location, and I think they've been striking since Monday, since yesterday. They've been out kind of doing their protests with the signs and everything like that. And their necessary complaint is that Amazon is not paying them fairly for or commensurate to what Amazon actually does on the profit side. And so no matter how you think about, what people should get paid, the point that we're just making here is that these issues are going on, and that they're real and that they're relevant to the time. So even our neighbors, they might be working in Gardner, but they might be living anywhere in the Triangle, that might be working out at those plants. They're fighting for something. They're fighting for what they believe is fair. It's fair compensation. It's fair, a value of their time. I was watching a clip, and one of the leaders of that strike, he was just saying that this is his words, not mine, but Bezos is able to go to the moon and his workers aren't being paid fairly. And that's, maybe he's speaking in hyperbole. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but the reality is Jeff Bezos does go to the moon, and maybe, all of his workers aren't being paid fairly. So it's just one of those times to always think about how we want to help one another, how we want to show our support, and just have conversations and use our voices to be a part of change, to be a part of some change. So just wanted to throw that one out there. And as we keep talking about different things that are happening around the community, I want to shout some people out at the top of the show. Some people that have really made this show what it is, and keep me abreast of what's going on sometimes. Really big shout out to a guy named CJ Baker. He doesn't know I'm going to do this today, but I'm putting him on the spot. CJ Baker, he's a musician. He was actually our first guest. He was our first guest on the show. And he's actually been sending some artists my way, been kind of keeping me in touch, keeping me in the loop. He runs the jam session that goes on every Tuesday over at Haytide Collective Kitchen and Cocktails. They're actually going to be out there tonight. It's a jam session. They always have a featured artist who does a set for about an hour from like 8:30 to 9:30. And then they have an open mic, open jam session for, all musicians, poets, singers, songwriters, that kind of thing. So that's every Tuesday from 8:30 to about 11:30 over at Haytide Collective Kitchen and Cocktails. And that's run by Mr. CJ Baker. Big shout outs to him. I'm going to try something here. We're going to try to hit the applause track. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's Mr. CJ. That's for Mr. CJ Baker. Yeah, Mr. CJ Baker. He does a lot of good things in the community, especially for musicians and artists. He does a lot of good things, and I really appreciate everything that he's been doing for me in the background and what he's been doing for other musicians and artists. So if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do, you're looking for a jam session, you play an instrument, you're a musician, you're looking to get locked in and tapped in, hit up CJ Baker. I think it's I am CJ Baker on Instagram. He doesn't know I'm putting this plug in, but I just felt it was right. I was thinking last week about things that I'm thankful for and people that I'm thankful for, and of course family and all the good stuff. And we weren't able to have the show, so I couldn't talk about this then. So I'm talking about it now. And I started to think about this particular show and the platform that I have and that I've been given. And we've been doing this for a couple months now, and we've had a little bit of level of success. And I'm thinking about things that I'm thankful for. And CJ Baker came to mind. just as a person that took the plunge with me on that first trip, on that first show. He jumped in with me, and he's been supportive of me ever since. So I really appreciate him. And so if you're out there, so that's going to be a theme for the whole show. I know it's after Thanksgiving, but that doesn't matter. If there's anything that you're thankful for, especially if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you know a producer, you know a musician that you want to shout out live right here on the radio, definitely call in, type it in the comments, that person's name, and let's create that network and just say we're thankful for they put us on. They're doing something in this industry or in this area that's making a difference. So don't be afraid to call that number. That's 919-899-9305. That phone number is open. That phone line is open. Anytime we're not playing music, that phone line is open. And of course, the comment section is open on Facebook and YouTube right now. And I'm so bad about this. If you're listening on the radio, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're watching on the stream, I got to get good with this whole hit the like button, hit the share button type thing. Not really my deal, but they say it works. So if you happen to be watching on the stream, Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, and they say it helps the algorithms. That's what they say. But yeah. So just think, kind of thinking about it all, with the strikes and the protests and things, and being with family last week, and we were just having different conversations. Like I said, my family is from Mobile, or from Alabama and Mississippi in general. And we were just talking about similarities, about what everybody is going through at the moment. And it's just the time, it's 2023. We're about to go into 2024, and we're talking politics. We're talking prices of goods and homes and interest rates, and just the whole gamut of things. And you take a step back to say, hey, I'm thankful for, and you fill in the blank. We did the cheesy thing of everybody had to go around the table and say what they were thankful for. And so I'm taking this opportunity, since I couldn't do it last week, to open that up to anybody that wants to, especially if we're talking about music, especially if we're talking about a musician that influenced you, a producer that influenced you, or even a musician that you don't even know. One of my big influences that I'm thankful that existed to this day is Stevie Wonder. I'm really thankful that he exists and that his music exists, because he has gotten me through many a days with some of his tracks from back in the 70s. So we're still waiting on Mr. Joel. I think he said, let me check my phone and make sure he's not outside, and I shouldn't be answering the door. But yeah, Joel Venom, he's going to be in. I'm going to kind of give you a precursor just a little bit. We're going to dive deep into an interview with him. But he's a local musician in the area. He actually has a studio that we'll be talking about. So if you're a musician, a local artist in the area, you want to stay tuned to hear him, hear what he has going on, and maybe even call in and talk to him, because you never know. You never know who can get you in the studio. You never know who can get you some time. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on today. Hence the conversation about people we're thankful for, people who can put you on, people who can use their name in a space, or say your name in a space that you're not in. So that's why we're having that conversation. Of course, Thanksgiving. But I have a person that's going to be sitting across from me that you might want to know, that might be able to open a door or two for you. So stay tuned for that. And we actually got a couple tracks. We previewed one of the tracks earlier. We're going to run that back in just a little bit. One of his tracks. He makes music, produces music, engineers music, and he's been around the game for a little bit, especially in this area. And I'm privileged that he's going to be on. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing him, that he's not outside. Hold on. All right. Okay, we got a little bit. He'll be on. So I'm actually going to play, while we're waiting on him, I'm going to play one of those tracks that he had. So this one is Can't Get Involved. Real cool track. If you're in the car, Don't do too much moving, but this song can make you vibe a little bit. If you're at home, you might want to stand up and get your dance on a little bit. This is called "Can't Get Involved." "Can't Get Involved" by Joel Venom.
On the scene, gave it to him raw, so it's hard to believe. See you later to them bro that cut me off during my DM. I'm locked in the zone, ain't like I do it for no reason. I know they sick of it, give them the remedy. Don't get it twisted, I'm right at your spot, now you finna see. Shorty's up in the more things than open in the bottle of Hennessy. So I don't understand why they don't understand. Oh damn, here we go again. Don't need a step, it's a Tesla. To a head, so the shit out of line. Fuck it, I might need an edge. Ooh, she making a mess. Calling me daddy, I can't even text her. Trading dudes in the phone like peasants. Can't rule it out, and that's what matters. I can't get involved with you frauds on the scene. Gave it to him raw, so it's hard to believe. See you later to them bro that cut me off during my DM. I'm locked in the zone, ain't like I do it for no reason. Damn it, we go again. Don't need a step, it's a Tesla. Oh, damn it, we go again. Don't need a step, it's a Tesla. Oh, yeah. I fear none. Can't interact with the people that don't believe. I'm so unique. Crush them, but it's no discussion. The Professor Ogilvy. No diggity, been on my A game, maintaining for those that oversee. I ain't holding your hand if you don't break a leg. Now, why would I post on the blog? The highlight is on in my power. I took time and took game like Verizon. That's a no-brainer, I'm straight, I don't mind it. Living legend, I killed him with kind. If it ain't the city, then God is behind them. Oh yeah, whatever lies ahead, I gotta be honest. I can't get involved with you frauds on the scene. Gave it to him raw, so it's hard to believe. See you later to them bro that cut me off during my DM. I'm locked in the zone, ain't like I do it for no reason. Oh damn it, we go again. Don't need a step, it's a Tesla. To a head, so the shit out of line. Fuck it, I might need an edge. Ooh, she making a mess. Calling me daddy, I can't even text her. Trading dudes in the phone like peasants. Can't rule it out, and that's what matters.
That was "Can't Get Involved." "Can't Get Involved" by Joel Venom. One of them smooth tracks. Nice bass line to it. He sent it to me last night or the night before last, and I'd actually never heard it before. And I was sitting with somebody, and they didn't know who it was. I always like to just play music and just like see people's reaction. And they were just like bobbing their head. They were doing the shoulder bounce with it. And I was like, okay, this is one. So that was "Can't Get Involved" by Joel Venom. He's on his way in the studio. We'll have a little conversation with him. But right now we're just talking about things and or people, especially in the music business, that we are thankful for. Like I said, Mr. CJ Baker in this area, amongst a lot of other people, and I'll be saying their names either in this show or just kind of throughout the time. But one person I really wanted to shout out on today's show was CJ Baker of the CJ Baker Band. He'll appreciate that I said that. But if there's anybody in your life, especially musically, that has inspired you, to do music, be around music, appreciate music, any of the above, go ahead and type it in the comments or give us a call. That phone number is 919-899-9305. Look, excuse me if you kind of hear my voice stumble a little bit. So I'm under the weather coming back from that traveling. It's been an interesting couple weeks for us, man. That with the weather changing and it getting dark at night, this fall season has been a very interesting time. So, as I said, another person that I'm thankful for in the music industry is Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. If anybody knows me, one of my favorite, if not my favorite musician, is Stevie Wonder, and one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite song, is "Living for the City." A couple weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago now, I had a whole Cam's conversation about protests and everything that was going on, and I played "Living for the City" in that particular on that particular show. And "Living for the City" is the track that really speaks to me. I think he has a line in there that says, I'm a boy from Mississippi type thing. And I think that's kind of where I fell in love. I think that's where I fell in love with that song. And then I fell in love with him, or, and with his music, and kind of went down the rabbit hole of Stevie Wonder back when I was a kid, and thinking of just different albums like Inner Visions. And of course, Songs in the Key of Life, which is the greatest album of all time, Songs in the Key of Life. If anybody disagrees with me, don't call in. I don't want to hear your opinion if you disagree with that statement, with that fact. Actually, I don't want to hear your opinion if you don't think that Songs in the Key of Life is the best album of all time. So, but yeah, that made me appreciate music, really honed an ear for me, and made me appreciate artistry, and then also made me appreciate artists and musicians saying something of purpose, and which kind of led me down a path of 1970s musics and all that good stuff. So I'm really thankful for him and that time period, because it really shaped who I am. So just talking about what I'm thankful for in the music industry, in the music business. We're kind of holding steady, holding serve, waiting on our special guest, very, very special guest, Mr. Joel Venom. If you're tuning in, and because of Joel and you want to hear him talk, he'll be in here in just a few minutes. I'm going to have a quick conversation with him. Once again, if you're listening on the FM dial, if you're in your cars and you're listening, buckle up, stay safe. He's actually caught out there in some of that traffic. I know I was caught out there in the traffic a couple weeks ago, so I totally get it. Hey, stay safe out there. If you're in the Raleigh area, if you're in the Triangle, there's some areas, that Glenwood, that Capitol Boulevard, 40, 540, they can get stacked up. Be patient. Keep your eyes and your ears open. And just be kind to one another, man. This driving thing is getting out of hand. It's getting crazy over here in the Triangle. And if you're listening, or if you're watching on the stream somewhere, or you're watching the replay, we're here in the RDU Triangle, and this traffic thing has been heating back up, man. COVID slowed it down really, really to a halt, like everywhere in the world. And now everybody's moving around. People are getting off work again, and this traffic is bumper to bumper. So just stay safe if you're out there. If you're listening on the FM dial, turn us up and relax. I think my voice, even in my little sickly way, I'm still calming. I still try to be calming and cool. So if you find yourself having a little road rage, just listen to the sweet, sweet sounds of Cameron McCarty. No, I'm joking, but I'm serious. So yeah, just talking about things we're thankful for, especially in the music business. Another individual that I'm thankful for, going to bring it back to family. He's going to appreciate that I'm saying this. I'm saying this for a soundbite specifically. I'm really appreciative of my cousin, Jalen Jackson. About 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, we had a show when we debuted one of his tracks on here. And he's a musician. He's based out of Atlanta, and his musicianship is second to none. And I actually was able to spend a little time with him this past weekend when I went home when I went home for Thanksgiving, and we talked music. We talked music business. He's a producer. He's down there, really in the industry at this point, producing, songwriting. But he's also an artist. That wants to be seen as an artist. And he has a very individual style. He has a very unique style of of artistry. He can produce anything, but his artistry is unique. He's unique, and he is going to do some big things. So if you haven't heard, now you've heard again. Jalen Jackson out of Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, that's where he's producing. But he's all over literally the world at this point. He has another record out. I might have to pull up the name of it in just a second. But he does a lot of things out in Malawi, Africa. Him and his family, they're missionaries. They're missionaries, and they actually just went over to Malawi again. They go every year. And they went over there, and he's doing some phenomenal work. Him and their whole family, my uncle and all of my cousins, they're doing some phenomenal work. My cousin, his sister, they brought water to a village out there, and he's making music in reverence to their culture, doing some amazing things. So I want to say I'm really appreciative that I have a family that's so well-rounded, especially in music. And so I get the privilege of saying this live on the radio. My cousin, Jalen Jackson, I'm appreciative of him. And when he blows up, when he goes and wins that Grammy, this will be a soundbite that I get to hold on to, that I said this on live on the radio on Oak 93.5 WRLY, that Jalen Jackson, I am appreciative of you. So, hey, we're just talking here. Look, if you want to chime into this conversation, by all means, don't be afraid. That number is 919-899-9305. And if you don't want to call in, don't worry about it. Just put something in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. I'm perusing just to make sure I'm not missing out on anybody, making sure that I'm not leaving anyone out, as we just kind of talk about the music business and things and people that we're thankful for. So I usually do this at the end of the show, but we're going to talk about it right now. Next week, we have another special guest. That'll be on. We're going to have Mr. Adam Lee Decker. He's another fan favorite. Let's try it again, crowd. Mr. Adam Lee Decker, he'll be on with us. We're going to talk about his journey. He's got multiple tracks that we'll play. He's a celebrity of sorts. He's a local celebrity. He's been on The Voice. He's been on American Idol. He does the national anthem at the hockey games. He is the real deal. So we're going to have him on next week. So don't forget to tune in to that one. That's going to be a very jam-packed time. We're already building that run of show of how we're going to talk about his journey, how he got started, about the American Idol experience, about the Voice experience, and really dive into each of those. He's been on before. He's a fan favorite. We glossed over a lot of that stuff in the first session, but now we're going for round two, and he'll be on. And then later in December, I actually want to say the week after that, we got Camus Leonardo. Camus Leonardo is back on. He won't be a guest. He'll be the host. He has his own guest on, so be on the lookout for that. That's the Tapped In series. That'll be December the 9th, maybe. Let's see. No, that not the 9th. That'll be December the 19th. December the 19th. Camus Leonardo will be hosting for the Tapped In series. Be on the lookout for who his guest is. He's been out there doing some amazing work. He actually just dropped a couple records. We need to get him in the playlist. So, hey, Dame, if you're listening, man, send me them tracks, man, so we can get them in the playlist so I can play them on the radio. Yeah, so he'll be in from Camus Leonardo from Dames Worldwide, all of that. He'll be hosting the Tapped In series. That's December 19th. And then something I usually don't get the time to do in the show is I really want to highlight some places to go. I'm not affiliated with anybody or anything like that, but I'm always interested in what to do, places to go. A couple weeks ago, somebody called in and said, "Hey, you have a strong nod to the jazz community. Where can we go to listen to some jazz?" And I named off a couple places pretty quickly. So now I'm going to slow down. Like I said earlier, CJ Baker. CJ Baker, he puts on a jazz or a jam session. It's more so just a jam session on Tuesday nights over at Hayti Collective Kitchen and Cocktails. But then also in Durham on Tuesday nights, Kingfisher. If you've never been to Kingfisher, it's a speakeasy type joint, very low lit, very classy. They actually have a jazz jam session. A jazz jam session. Al Strong, he's usually over there. And a lot of the cats from the NCCU program, they play in there on Tuesday nights. I want to say it is 9 p.m., like 9 to 11:30 over at Kingfisher. And on Wednesday night, we're back at Hayti Collective Kitchen and Cocktails. Taha Arif. He puts on, once again, another jazz jam session. A lot of cats from NCCU. They on Tuesdays they're at Kingfisher, and then they're over at Hayti on Wednesday. And then on Thursdays, there's a couple different places. Corpse Reviver in Durham, they have a jazz jam session or a jazz listening session. That's more of just, it's a speakeasy, but it's more so just listening to some jazz music while you have a nice cocktail. A little expensive cocktail, whatever. I'm not affiliated, but I mean, they're good. But the music is better. The music, the ambiance is really what you're looking for there. And then actually this Thursday, there's something special going on over at Watson Ward. So if you're in the listening area, I'm not affiliated, but hey, here we go. Watson Ward is another speakeasy. They're in downtown Raleigh. Not affiliated with them per se, but a lot of the musicians that have been on this show that are in my network, they play at Watson Ward. And it just so happens this Thursday, November 30th, the Premium Sound Band, Travis and the Premium Sound Band, they'll be at Watson Ward. And I want to say, he sent me the flyer. Let's see what we got. 8 to 11 p.m. 8 to 11 p.m. this Thursday at Watson Ward, the Premium Sound Band. And I'm going to be honest with you, the Premium Sound Band, I've been trying to get Trav on this show for a while. He's a busy guy. But some of the best entertainment, man. They can play, they can sing, and you just have fun. You just have fun when you're listening to them. So if you're in the area, if you happen to be in Raleigh on Thursday at 8 p.m., Watson Ward, go listen to the Premium Sound Band. Trav, he doesn't know I'm doing it. I'm doing all this for Soundbite so I can send it to him. But yeah, it'll be a good time to go listen to Trav. So that's Watson Ward, Thursday, 8 to 11 p.m. The Premium Sound Band will be playing. And I think CJ Baker's going to be out there. It all comes full circle. And then on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, there's a lot of places you can go. I'm not even going to try to get down to the list of every single place, but I know of some consistency. So we started off on Tuesday, but we can actually back up to Monday. So on Monday, downtown Durham once again, at the Unscripted. Every Monday, bring your own instrument, BYOI, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. They're at Unscripted, and it's another listening jam session. So they have a house band. Excuse me. They have a house band, but it's an open mic. It's an open. They usually have a DJ with the band. So if you like to sing or rap, and you want a live music behind you, or you want to give a track to the DJ or whatever, sing with another track, it doesn't matter. BYOI on Mondays at Unscripted. So if I'm running down your midweek, we got on Monday BYOI over at Unscripted, and that goes from 7 to 11. And then Tuesdays, you have your jam session over at Hayti Collective Kitchen and Cocktails, brought to you by CJ Baker, and that runs from about 8:30 to 11:30. And On Tuesdays, you have the Jazz Jam session at Kingfisher from 9 to 11. And then on Wednesdays, you have the Jazz Jam session, again, over at Hayti Collective Kitchen and Cocktails, run by Taha Arif. And that is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., I believe. And then you get to Thursday, there's a litany of places. But if you're watching this particular show, this particular Thursday, November 30th, at Watson Ward's, the Premium Sound Band will be playing from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. All right. So there's multiple places to go, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I want to say on Sundays, the House of Art has a jam session. On Mondays, out in Chapel Hill, over at the Cave, they have a jam session from 8 p.m. to 11. I think every other Monday there's a open mic night at the Lucky Tree over in Raleigh, right across from Meredith or Peace, whatever's over there. I can't remember. I actually haven't been. I've only seen clips. It looks like a very, very good time over at Lucky Tree. And then you also there's another open mic night that's escaping me right now. But as you can tell, there's some all over the city, all over the Triangle. Big shout outs to Lo-Fi Lounge. Want to give a big shout out to Lo-Fi Lounge. I went to one of their events a couple weeks ago. It was like a beat competition, but not really a competition, but just beat makers coming out and showing what they do. And it was a really good time. You had a lot of good musicians, a lot of beat makers that were there doing their thing. And I had never been to one of those events. It was Lo-Fi Lounge. They did it over at Deja's in downtown Durham. Very dope spot. If you've never been, they have a lot of events that come through there. But the good people over at Lo-Fi Lounge had some really good conversations, just talking about music, talking about business, and really appreciate all the work that they're doing for the community, all the work that they're doing for the local artists. Got to give them. I'm gonna try this one more time. Got to give them a cheers. The good people over at the Lo-Fi Lounge. Good people over at the Lo-Fi Lounge. Yeah, I'm getting kind of good at this thing. Yeah, we have the system in front of us that I try not to touch as much as I can, but now I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone and try some things out while we have this time waiting on Joel Venom to come into the studio. So yeah, we just kind of spent that time just to run down different places that have things going on in the area. And if you're out there listening and you are a producer, a promoter, an artist or something, and you have an event that you promote, that you produce on a weekly basis, or it's just a one-off, and you want it to be showcased here, or you want to be showcased here, don't be afraid to send us a message. You can always reach out to us at McCarty.TechTV. That's on Instagram or on Facebook. Send us a message. Send us an email, McCarty.TechTV@gmail.com. MCCARTY.TECHTV@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us that, and we'll talk to you and figure out what you got going on, and try to get you showcased on a spotlight like this. We like to come out and just tell the people about what's going on in the area, and just kind of keep our feet to the ground and run it on through. I think we got somebody coming into the studio. I think we got a special guest coming on in. How's it going, brother? Good. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and take a seat. Yes, sir. That's your mic right there, my friend.
What's good with it?
Nothing much, man. So we got Mr. Joel Venom. I've been telling you he was coming. He didn't make a liar out of me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hey, like I said before, if you're out there in that traffic, man, Glenwood, 540, I-40, it's all crazy. Hey, stay safe, buckle up, and turn the radio up. We still got about 20, 30 more minutes to go.
Yes, sir,
Look, we got a very special person. We got a celebrity of sorts. A celebrity. Everybody comes on my show, man. I got a celebrity coming up in here. Hey, when we're not playing music, that phone line is open. That's 919-899-9305. He's just walking into the studio. He might not know. This is a call-in show, so you never know who's going to call in at any given time.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, Mr. Joel Venom, man, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going great, actually.
I appreciate you for coming in and chopping it up with me.
Appreciate that, man. You already know. It ain't nothing to it but to do it.
I hear you. I hear you.
For real.
So we already played one of your tracks, Can't Get Involved. We already let the people hear that.
Okay.
We already, bounce to it a little bit, okay.
A little vibe.
So we got your vibe. So give us a little bit about who you are. Are you a producer, engineer, artist? Let us know just a little bit about you.
Well, actually, I started out as an artist like way back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when I was around like 15 or something like that. And I started recording myself, and while I was recording myself, I figured out like, okay, like I could engineer pretty good here and there. So I started recording other people. That's when I started getting a little bit deeper into engineering. I didn't really pick up producing until I moved here. Like I dibbled and dabbled in it. But then once I moved to North Carolina, it's like a lot of my equipment was in storage. Okay. So I just thought like, all right, beats, like I'm gonna just try to do this full-fledged because I didn't have my mic and all that. Like it made me feel like I was in the studio when I was making beats, like just, you know what I'm saying, the whole vibe. Got you. Basically all three, for real, artist, producer, and audio engineer, yeah. Okay,
so I got a couple questions from you from that. All right, so where are you from? What got you to the RDU?
Okay, so originally I was born in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Okay. I then moved around all through my life, like been to New Jersey or lived in New Jersey, Illinois, Maryland, Delaware, but I moved from Pennsylvania to come here. So yeah, Pennsylvania.
So you from up north, up top, okay? Yeah. So earlier in the show, you might not have heard it. I was complaining about this weather, man. I'm complaining about the weather. I got a little bit of a cold. I'm like, man, it's too cold outside. Yeah. But you from up in the snow and all that good stuff. So you good right now.
I'm used to that. Like sometimes when like right now it's kind of cold because I've gotten used to North Carolina. Yeah. But like I always have to remember like, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is.
Nah. See, I just came back from Alabama. That's when I'm originally from Mississippi.
Oh, word.
So I just came back from Thanksgiving from down there, and I come up here, and it's like 20 degrees. I ain't got time for it, bro. I ain't got time, dog.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that.
So you're from Pennsylvania. You came down here, and you're making music. So you said a couple things that I want to get some clarity on just to educate the people. Now, what's the difference between a producer and an engineer?
Okay, so a producer is someone, it's like many levels with a producer, but just to keep it on the surface level, a producer is someone that creates the beat, but also creates like a world for the artist. So like a landscape, like a universe for the artist to step in and just be themselves. An engineer is kind of the same, but it's like, you're making their sound much more rich than it already is. You're creating another world for them as well, but you're bringing depth to it. You're bringing more of their vision to life. You know what I mean? Like as far as sound wise and stuff like that. But the levels of producer, like it could be someone just making the beat, but a producer can also like not make the beat. And they could just like know what goes into the song and be like, oh, like that right there works, or that vocal right there works. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different levels with this stuff, but it's different with both of them too.
So what do you prefer?
I actually enjoy producing more, but the fact that I started out rapping and engineering myself, it all comes together at the same time every time. So I could be making a beat and I'll know just by being an artist what like pockets an artist might dip into and what beats an artist may like. And then when I'm engineering, I'll know also like as an artist, like, all right, let me do this effect so that when the artist hears it back, like they're gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And get excited and stuff. So it all comes together all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always and I know the difference a little bit, but I just like educating, our listeners and our viewers on like the different parts of the music industry, music business, because it kind of, you throw these terms out, like, what does that mean? And like, my day job is working in TV, so I'm a broadcast engineer on the TV side. But it all correlates, it all correlates to the same end goal, same result. So in the area, do you have a studio that you work out of? Or?
Yes, we actually have. It's a creative space called The Portal, and it's off of 2900 Hillsborough Street downtown and all that, right off of NC State campus. But The Portal is where I record artists at. I also hold events like producer cook-ups, so producers around the area. You could be someone that just has an MPC or someone that's straight on the computer, all types. If you like making music, I'll be holding them events so that artists and producers could come together, vibe out, network, and all of that. But the space is also like, we hold events there. There's even poetry jams there, comedy events, people be having birthdays, all that type of stuff, weddings and all that. So we all hold it down over there, but that's where I record everybody at.
Okay, so you said
for right now,
For right now,
yeah.
And I always like to slow it down. So you said The Portal. Now, where exactly is The Portal? The
Portal is at 2900 Hillsborough Street in Raleigh.
And let's go ahead and drop some of that social media. Just if maybe I want to have a wedding or something and I need a place to go.
Okay.
How can we find The Portal?
So on IG, you want to type in theportal.studios. So theportal.studios. We don't got a Facebook yet, but if you hit that IG, I'll be controlling that page. You'll be able to tap in with us.
Perfect. Yeah, I was actually at like a beat cook-off. I think I was actually kind of just telling the listeners about just different things that I like to go to and do. And I don't know if you ever heard of the Lo-Fi Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
The Lo-Fi Lounge.
My boy LD.
I just linked up with him about 2